This video is for people that have been following this channel for a while. It's a video for people that like statistics. It's a video for people that like backtests. I have backtested moving averages on this channel since beginning, actually roughly 3 years ago. And for everybody that's not aware, the strategy is very straightforward. You bet on the price to go down whenever the price is below the moving average. You bet on the price to go up whenever the price is above the moving average. So you try to time those waves that way. You're bearish when things tend to decline. You're bullish when things tend to increase. So you'd be buying here and selling here as an example. And so on this channel, I've made a lot of those backtests. I've backtested altcoins, I've backtested Bitcoin, I've backtested Ethereum. I try to always find out what's the best moving average duration. Should we take a simple moving average? Should we take an exponential moving average? What historically worked the best? Because the assumption is that whatever used to work in the past is somewhat likely to also continue to work in the future. The fundamental psychological dynamics don't change that much over time. I've backtested all kinds of price charts in the past, but I never backtested Ethereum relative to Bitcoin. That was requested by one of our members in Telegram, and so I did. My dataset starts in August of 2017, goes all the way to December of this year, and I backtested the simple moving averages and the exponential moving averages. Here are the durations in days, and of course we've got different kinds of returns depending on what moving average duration we take. We also have trading fees in here, 0.2%. for each time we change direction. This is the same result shown in chart form, this time on the x-axis, the duration of the moving average, on the y-axis, the annualized performance. In turquoise, we've got the simple moving average returns. In red, we've got the exponential moving average returns. So the very best moving average for ETH divided by BTC is this one over here. It's the 38-day simple moving average. The best EMA, by the way, is the 40-day. And so when we plot this on a chart, this is what we get. Currently, we should be rather bearish on Ethereum. Now, this would be the entire story usually, but this time I don't really trust the results here. Because what we see for most backtests in crypto that are US dollar denominated is that it really moves in cycles and that it's pretty independent of what moving average duration you take. You always tend to outperform buying and holding. But this is not the case here. The main problem with crypto YouTube is conflict of interest. Too many YouTubers shill garbage, promote garbage, and fill up their pockets in the background. Not this channel. Instead, there's simply the offer where I share my skills, my perspectives to you, and where I also share direct access to me, where you can ask me any questions. Feel free to check it out. The premium membership link is down below. Have a close look at this chart again. In black, we've got buying and holding. So in the time period, how did Ethereum relative to Bitcoin perform? It did not outperform, by the way. And look at these results of the moving averages. They tend to hover around that buying and holding line, around the black line. There are a lot of moving averages that actually underperformed, almost half of them. Now that's bad. What we want to see instead is that the majority of that line is above buying and holding, because then we can simply just cherry pick and optimize, but in general we can be safe that a strategy works. I don't think we can be safe that a strategy works of following the trends, following the moving averages for ETH divided by BTC. There are simply too many moving averages that don't outperform. Now, why do I show you all of this when it's useless anyways? It's because the strategy tends to work usually. It doesn't work for everything, and it's always important to keep a very critical mind on a strategy. I do those backtests to validate a trading strategy. I don't just randomly pick a 100-day moving average. I don't just randomly pick a 200-day. I don't just randomly use the Bollinger Bands or the RSI. I want to backtest and see how well does this actually work in a sector, how well does this actually work for a particular asset over time. And when the results don't show a clear yes, a clear confirmation that the strategy works, then we have to be honest with ourselves and not use it. Now, if you've got a good idea for another backtest, feel free to share this in our free Telegram. The link is down below. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow.